Mistaking a Magnate for a Male Escort novel audiobook. Chapter 7 to Chapter 14. Hey, Charlotte gritted her teeth in anger. I only have 3,000 left in my account. How on earth am I going to foot the bill? Don't tell me you can't afford to pay the bill. Wesley came closer to her intentionally. You can ask for my help. As long as you agree to spend a night with me, I'll foot the bill. With my help, no one will dare to bully you at work and slap. Before Wesley could finish, Charlotte gave him a tight slap and yelled, "Scum!" Wesley touched his cheek. Instead of getting mad, he chuckled like a pervert. This is the first time you've touched me. Your hand is so soft. You are a disgusting piece of shit. Charlotte stalked off angrily. If you fail to pay the bill today, your colleagues might refuse to befriend you anymore. Imagine them being disgusted by you so much that they start ostracizing you. Wesley shouted behind her. Do you want to risk losing this job? Charlotte walked along the hallway in dejection. I can't lose this job. But where can I get a few $100,000 to foot the bill? She was deep in thought when a familiar figure appeared in a private room ahead. A man was seated on the sofa with his straight back to her. His white shirt was tied around his waist, revealing a vicious wolf head tattoo and a long scar on his back. It's him. Charlotte froze in shock. Her heart pounded faster than ever. The last time she saw the man in his car, she was so nervous and had held her breath dazedly. But he left before she could say a word. But now, the man who had destroyed her life was right in front of her eyes. As she gazed at his back, sudden flashbacks appeared in her head. Upon waking up in the hospital back then, she failed to see her father for the last time. She could only look at her father as stiff corpse in the crematorium. At the funeral, her relatives and friends pointed fingers at her, cursing her harshly and chasing her away. As she got pregnant before marriage, people looked down on her when she attended her monthly prenatal checkups at the unremarkable clinic in the countryside. When she gave birth to her babies in the hospital, she nearly died of excessive bleeding because she was pregnant with triplets. It was all that man's fault. Fury overwhelmed her heart. She clenched her hands into fists and rushed into the room. Hey, get out. This is a private area. A man in black standing in the corner spoke sternly. The mysterious man on the sofa raised his hand. At his silent order, the man in black left the room silently. Charlotte was stunned. Oh, so gigolos are rich enough to afford bodyguards now. Looks like he has been enjoying life for the past few years. Charlotte bit back her agitation and inched nearer carefully. Is it you? The man buttoned his shirt and turned around slowly. On his face was a black masquerade mask, covering half of his face. The mask exposed his thin lips. His steely and enigmatic gaze gleamed in the dark. There was a gold fire emblem on the top right of the mask, which appeared menacing and wild to her. Charlotte took a step back instinctively. Why is he so imposing? Isn't he just a gigolo? Did I get the man wrong? No, I am right. There's that unmistakable tattoo. Don't you remember me? Charlotte urged. 4 years ago, I was drinking in room K13 when my friend requested a male escort for me, who turned out to be you. We went to Storm Hotel together. There's a red mole on your chest. The man narrowed his gaze at her. We did it 7 times that very night. I am gonna kill you. Charlotte dashed ahead and raised her arm to give him a slap. The man grabbed her arm swiftly and pushed her onto the sofa. How dare you? Scum! Charlotte leapt onto him like a wildcat, waving her arms around to scratch him. It's all your fault. You ruined my life, she roared. The man placed his hand on her head, keeping her at a distance away. She couldn't reach him even if she waved her hands wildly. He stared at her coolly like she was nothing but a clown. Get the facts right. You were the one who requested my service. It was consensual. You make it seem like I had raped you. Charlotte bristled. You're an unprofessional gigolo. You didn't even put on a condom when you served your client. F***CKU. You deserve to be castrated. The man's gaze turned dangerous. Did you get pregnant? Charlotte stiffened at his question. Her babies flashed across her mind. Yes. I got pregnant and gave birth to triplets. But you scum. You've never been a responsible father. Answer me. He demanded. Yes. I got pregnant. Charlotte blurted out. She immediately changed her mind and corrected herself. But I aborted it later. I want to give birth to a shameless gigolo's child. If someone else finds out the kid's father is a male escort at a club, they'll be ridiculed at their kindergarten. No. I must keep it a secret. No one is to find out about this. Good. The man nodded in satisfaction. He reached into his pocket to retrieve something. The cheek of you. I can't believe you're still working here as a gigolo. How many innocent ladies are you going to harm? I'll file a complaint with your manager now. Charlotte stomped away furiously. The man's hand holding the check froze. Furrowing his brows, he left the check in his pocket. At the door, Charlotte received a call from Wesley. Charlotte, if you don't show up, the rest are going to leave. Don't bother showing up for work at Divine Corporation tomorrow. Go to hell. Charlotte hung up, her body shaking in rage. Why are there scums everywhere? They are both disgusting scoundrels. Wait a minute. Suddenly, something occurred to her. That gigolo ruined my life. I can't give up just like that. I can't let him live luxuriously when my kids and I are suffering. At that thought, Charlotte's jaw hardened. She barged into the private room again and demanded, "Stupid gigolo. You ruined my life. You must bear the responsibility." The man was sipping on his wine when she made that announcement. Looking up icily, he replied, "Oh, how do you propose I do that?" "By compensating me," Charlotte declared sternly. "If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been this miserable. If it weren't for him, I would be met father for the last time before he died. If it weren't for him, my reputation wouldn't have suffered such an irreversible damage. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have become a single mother. But my kids are still adorable to me. Wait, I am demanding money from him now. Be stern and forceful. How much do you want?" The man lounged on the sofa arrogantly as he buttoned his shirt up. His sexy abs were gleaming alluringly in the dimly lit room. Charlotte was momentarily dazed by his abs. She swiftly regained her composure and cleared her throat, then held up 3 fingers. 300 million. Ha! If you can pay me 300 million, I'd wake up smiling in my dreams. Charlotte scoffed. She continued, "You're just a gigolo. Why are you so cocky? Listen, I demand 3 months of your salary. From today onwards, give me half of your nightly earnings. After all, I can't even afford to buy formula milk for the kids now. Luckily, I bumped into this gigolo when I have nowhere to turn to. I need to fleece him to make him pay for what he had done to me. Also, he needs to bear some responsibility as the kid's father. 3 months will be enough to get me through this hurdle. After my probation period, my salary will increase to 10,000. We will be able to survive then. By then, we will go our separate ways. How much do you think I can earn in one night?" The man twirled his glass lightly and shot her an amused glance. "What if no one requests for me? You're quite good looking. If you're willing to work hard, you might end up as sultry night as top male escort." Charlotte scanned his figure carefully before her gaze landed on his groin. "I hear normal escorts get paid 4 to 5,000 for each round of service, and 8 to 10,000 for overnight service. You can earn at least 10,000 per night, right? So, I just need to give you 5,000 every night." The man's smirk deepened. "You're easily satisfied, huh?" "Of course not," Charlotte retorted hurriedly. "I mean, at least 5,000. At least 5,000 every night. To make up for that mistake you did that night, you need to work hard to compensate me. Got it? Money isn't a problem, said the man carelessly. Curious, he inquired. But how did you recognize me? Through the wolf head tattoo on your waist. I want to get it wrong. Charlotte was afraid he might deny it. So you don't know what I look like? The man's gaze was penetrating. Duh, Charlotte replied in exasperation. I was so drunk that night that I didn't even know what you looked like. The man sipped on his wine and smiled, saying nothing. Don't try to shirk your responsibility. Otherwise, I'll file a complaint with the manager. Charlotte added. Oh, I heard you're also a transvestite. If they find out about that, you'll lose your job for sure. The man stiffened and narrowed his eyes dangerously. Transvestite? Charlotte harumphed. Are you scared? She took a pen from her bag and wrote out a simple contract. Here, I've made it all clear. From today onwards, you need to compensate me with half of your daily salary for 3 months. Sign here, and stamp your thumbprint here. It's a done deal. She stuffed the pen in his hand. Am I the only gigolo you got? The man gazed at the scrawny words on the contract and raised a brow. Don't tell me you have a stack of these contracts at home. Are you crazy? Do you think I am that desperate? Sleeping with you was an accident. You were the only man I've ever slept with. Charlotte blurted out angrily. When she realized what she had just said, her face flushed in embarrassment. The corners of the man's lips lifted in a smirk. He signed on the contract without a word, but his signature was an illegible squiggle at the bottom of the page. Charlotte thought that wasn't enough and pulled his palm to her. She bit on his thumb, hard. When a drop of blood trickled out, she stamped his finger on the contract immediately. Now, the contract was valid and Charlotte was chuffed. There's no going back on your words now. All right. Give me your salary for today. I haven't started working for tonight yet. He pulled her into his embrace and wrapped his arm around her slender waist, brushing his lips across her cheek. He breathed. Why don't you be my first client for today? I'll give you a 50% discount. Don't even think about it. Charlotte struggled out of his embrace and pushed him aside. Stay away from me. From now on, your job is to work hard and pay your debt. Are you that willing to let me sell my body? The man inquired, staring deep into her eyes. You're just my cash cow. Why wouldn't I be willing? Charlotte whipped her phone out. Let's exchange numbers to stay in contact. The man took her phone and entered his number. He was about to save his name when Charlotte snatched it away from him, saving his name as Gigolo in Debt. Upon seeing that, his brows snapped together in displeasure. I'll send you my bank account. Remember to bank in your salary before 12 a.m. every day. Got it? Reminded Charlotte as she typed furiously on her phone. Ding! The man received a text. He clicked into the text and saw the account number she had just sent him. He smirked. This is interesting. Right then, Charlotte's phone began to ring. Seeing it was Wesley, she answered it and yelled in frustration. Stop pushing me. I don't have money to foot the bill. I don't want the job at Divine Corporation anymore. Will that do? She hung up promptly, her face flushed with anger. As she had just lost her new job, she slumped onto the sofa in dejection. Spotting the wine glass in front of the man, she grabbed it and finished the wine in one gulp. Charlotte let out a burp and complained. It's all your fault. I've just lost my job because of you. It's hard to find a job nowadays. I can't believe that despicable man did that to me. The man asked. Did someone at Divine Corporation frame you? You want to understand. Charlotte was about to ignore him when something occurred to her. Oh, can you pay a bill around a few $100,000 here? Sure. Great. Charlotte told the man to pay the bill, which was over $183,000. Her heart was aching over the ridiculously expensive bill. But she had to keep her job. After all, she still had to support her kids. Thanks. I'll deduct the amount from your compensation. She went to her colleagues and informed them. Ivy settled the bill. Did you have fun tonight? Yes. Yes. Thank you, Charlotte. Her colleagues cheered. Did you seriously foot the bill? I heard it was over 180,000. A colleague inquired in disbelief. Yes. It was pretty expensive. I maxed out a few cards to pay the bill. I'll be eating bread for the next few months. Charlotte let out a bitter chuckle. But it's worth it as long as you had fun tonight. Well, a few other colleagues felt bad for her and glanced at Wesley. Charlotte's being humble. The money isn't even enough for her to buy a bag. There's no way she'd maxed out her cards. Wesley snickered. But anyway, thank you. Next time, it's on me. Charlotte was upset at how despicable the scum was. But she couldn't retort as she needed this job. Ignoring him, she sent her colleagues off. Charlotte, I drove here. Let me give you a ride back. It's alright. I can take a cab. Thank you, though. When Charlotte came out of the private room, the man was no longer at the bar. He must be with a client now. He just can't stay idle. Huh? She sent him a text. I am leaving now. Work hard and earn more money. The faster you pay your debt, the faster you'll be set free. In the room, when Zachary received her text, the corners of his mouth turned up. What a foolish yet adorable woman. Mr. Nacht, Pardis has just shown up. Ben, his bodyguard, came in and reported. Ivy sent someone to keep an eye on him. We'll find out who he'll contact. Remember, don't alert him. Got it. As Charlotte didn't receive a reply from him, she panicked. Is he trying to go back on his word? I am still nearby. If he seriously has that intention, I can go back and look for him. She immediately called that number. Zachary was about to leave when his phone rang. He smiled subconsciously when he saw who it was. Hello. Why didn't you reply to my text? Are you trying to escape? Charlotte demanded. I am busy earning money to pay my debt, explained Zachary, all immersed in his role. Someone asked for you, Charlotte asked excitedly. For one round or one night? How much did you earn? You seem really experienced at this. Zachary sneered. How many times have you hired gigolos? You're the only one, Charlotte retorted, embarrassed by her sudden outburst. She coughed a few times before her voice grew stern. Stop changing the topic. How much did you earn? One night. 10,000, replied Zachary, arching his brows. He was at the peak of his business career, where everything felt dull to him. This stupid woman was giving his plain life more color and making it much more entertaining now. Standing aside, Ben was confused. Is Mr. Nacht discussing a new collaboration? What does he mean by one night? Is 10,000 a code phrase or something? Great. Transfer 5,000 to me now. Charlotte was elated. Money. Incoming money. I don't ask for payment in advance. I'll do that tomorrow morning, replied Zachary. The call was then disconnected. Charlotte was upset at how rude he was. Why did he hang up abruptly? Is he trying to go back on his word? Never mind. Since he signed the contract, answered my call, and even reported his earnings, I think he won't go back on his word. I'll just wait and see. Perhaps when I wake up, there will be money in my account. For the entire night, Charlotte tossed and turned in bed. She kept glancing at her phone. Nope. No new transfer. Nope. Not yet. It's just 2 a.m. Wait a bit more. Charlotte had just fallen asleep at 6 a.m. when a text arrived. She grabbed her phone underneath her pillow. It was a text informing her that a transfer of 5,000 had been made to her account. She immediately leapt up in excitement. Awesome. The first payment is in. She then quickly sent a text, I just received the money. Good job. Work harder tonight. Gigolo in debt, I just remembered I paid the bill last night. You said you'll deduct it from my debt. Charlotte, I am afraid you'll spend the money elsewhere. Just transfer me the money daily and I'll deduct the 180,000 from your debt. Don't you worry. Gigolo in debt, okay. Charlotte, work hard tonight. 2. If you do a good job, I'll buy you some supplements. Gigolo in debt. After receiving the money, Charlotte was so overjoyed she couldn't go back to sleep. They had just moved from the countryside, so they still lacked a number of household supplies. As it was the weekend, she wanted to bring Mistress Barry and the kids out shopping. Charlotte used to be a spoilt child, too. Her father adored her and brought her up like a princess. Alas, life was hard to predict. After the downfall of the Windt family, Charlotte ended up as the mother of triplets. As a mother, she would keep tabs on the latest promotions to get the best deals when shopping for daily necessities. They arrived at Grand Plaza soon. Charlotte was dressed in a casual denim shirt. She kept her phone in her bum bag and rolled her sleeves up in preparation for war. Robbie, Jamie, Ellie, I am going shopping. Stay with Mistress Barry at the playground. All right. Don't wander off alone. I will be back soon. Okay. The kids replied in unison. Right then, the onlookers started taking videos and photos of the kids. A few young ladies were tittering and squealing. Oh, are they mixed-race babies? How adorable. So cute. Yes. Look at their curly hair and bright eyes. Ah, they look like two princes and a princess in a fairy tale. I've never seen such good-looking kids. There's a parrot on the little girl's shoulder. Oh, it's nodding off. Ha ha, that's so cute. The kids would attract attention wherever they went. So every time they had to go somewhere crowded, Charlotte would make them wear face masks and hats to avoid too much attention. Please don't take photos and videos of us. This is an infringement of our image rights. Robbie reminded coolly. I can take selfies with pretty ladies. No selfies with boys. Though, Jamie smirked. Only pretty ladies. SHH. You're disturbing Fifi. Ellie put a finger up to her lips. Fifi was nodding off on her shoulder. Ah, how adorable. Can we take a selfie with you? A few young ladies surrounded them. Nope. Sorry. We don't do that. Robbie kept his cool. Okay. Robbie, Jamie, Ellie, Ivy bought the tickets. We can enter now. Mistress Barry returned with the tickets and brought them into the playground. Charlotte went upstairs to a children's clothing brand on the 3rd floor. There was a sale happening there. She rushed in and grabbed a cart before squeezing into the crowd at the sales section. Right then, a team of men in black marched in authoritatively and ordered everyone to make way. The young mothers who were busy shopping immediately stopped. They glanced at the scene in disgust. Who is that? What a grand entrance! Wow! These bodyguards are all tall and hot. Any of them could be the top male escort at sultry night. At their words, Charlotte's heart sank. A male escort at sultry night. Is it gigolo in debt? You're wrong. They are the bodyguards working for Divine Corporation as president. A mother with neat bangs answered smugly. My husband is working at Divine Corporation. The president has 18 bodyguards with a golden S logo on their shoulder. She added, I think the president is here, judging by the number of bodyguards. Wow! Another mother chimed in dreamily. The bodyguards are hunks. I wonder how hot the president will be. Normally people who hire handsome and tall bodyguards are short and ugly. That's right. Zachary's strikingly handsome features popped up in Charlotte's mind. Short and ugly. He is neither short nor ugly. The men in black set up a defense line in front of the Italian restaurant right opposite the shop and straightened their backs on alert. Soon, a tall and imposing man walked into the restaurant. Charlotte stared at his back from a distance. Indeed, it was Zachary Nacht, the president of Divine Corporation. For some reason, his back looked familiar to her. Where have I seen him before? Meanwhile, the kids were having a lot of fun in the playground. Mistress Barry stayed with them the entire time. A few parents came to her, and they started chatting animatedly. Jamie went to the restroom to pee. He was exiting the restroom with his hands in his pockets when he saw a trail of blood on the ground. His eyes immediately widened in surprise. Huh? Why is there blood on the floor? Curious, Jamie followed the blood trail and arrived at the storeroom where a wounded man in black was resting. Jamie came to a stop cautiously. The man in black was wearing a mask and cap which hid his entire face, but blood was trickling out of his wound non-stop. When he heard the footsteps, he immediately raised the knife in his grip viciously. Upon seeing that it was just a young boy, he relaxed visibly. Sir, do you need help? Jamie inquired politely. Get lost, brat, the man growled. Pouting, Jamie took out a cartoon band-aid from his pocket and handed it to the man. Here you go. The man rolled his eyes. He was bleeding badly, so this band-aid won't be of help. You die of excessive bleeding. You should go to the doctor now, said Jamie before turning to leave. Jamie. Fifi flapped its wings and flew toward Jamie. Jamie raised his hand, allowing Fifi to perch safely on the back of his hand. As the pair walked out, they attracted everyone's attention. Hey, what a cute boy. He has a cute parrot, too. Oh, go, search. Suddenly, a team of men in suits rushed in and started searching the area. Jamie swiveled his head and stared at the restroom. Could it be related to that man? He was in a daze when the man in black rushed out from the restroom and extended a bloodied hand. Then, he slipped something into Jamie's pocket and whispered in the boy's ear. Brat, I'll come back for it. Soon, the man disappeared into the stairwell. The team of men in suits immediately went after him. Jamie was stunned. Wow, was that a scene from a crime film? That was so cool. Snapping back to reality, he took out a small box from his pocket. When he opened it, there was a tiny golden chip about the size of a bean. Studying it carefully, he wondered, what could this be? It doesn't look like gold. I think it's some electronic stuff like the kind Robbie is obsessed with. Seed. Jamie was deep in thought when little Fifi's beak parted and ate the chip. Thinking it was a seed, Jamie was dumbfounded. He immediately patted Fifi's green head and shouted, Fifi, spit it out! Spit it out! Fifi shrieked immediately. Instead of spitting it out, it swallowed the chip out of shock. Ah! Jamie freaked out at once. He tugged Fifi's tail and swung it around. You can't eat that! Spit it out! Spit it out! Now! Fifi was seeing stars from Jamie's rough action. It rolled its eyes while its tongue lolled out weakly. Ah! Jamie! What are you doing? Yelled Ellie. She rushed over and took Fifi from him. Cradling it in her arms carefully, she demanded, Why did you bully Fifi? I am going to tell Mommy. No, Ellie. Jamie. It's wrong to bully Fifi, said Robbie sternly. Fifi. Jamie pointed at himself before pointing at Fifi helplessly. Fifi's head was spinning as it lay in Ellie's arms, panting heavily. Looks like none of them will believe me. Jamie had no choice but to keep it a secret. Zachary was sitting with his back against the door of the VIP room he was in, sipping on his wine elegantly in the Italian restaurant. His figure was imposing under the dim light. Ben rushed in to inform him. Mr. Nacht, Pardis has escaped. The man's hand paused briefly as he icily uttered, Useless. Yes, said Ben, lowering his head guiltily. Chipex holds the secret to our corporation's latest technology. If it gets leaked, the consequences will be horrible. We must get it back. Yes, Ben answered. I'll find parties within 3 days. Zachary stood up to leave, his majestic figure stunning everyone. A heavy silence hung in the air as all held their breaths. When he and his entourage arrived at the underground car park, he got into his Rolls-Royce Phantom without a word. The driver was about to drive away when Zachary called out, "Wait!" The driver hit the brakes immediately. Ben followed Zachary's gaze, spotting a little girl running past the rear of their car. She was nearly knocked over earlier. He immediately alighted the car. "Girl, why are you alone here? My Fifi flew downstairs. I am going after it." "Fifi, don't run. Stop." Ellie was about to pounce on the bird, but it flew into the car instead. She crawled into the car at once. Looking up, she was shocked to see a pair of cold eyes staring at her. "He seems scary. Is he the bad guy Mommy always talks about?" Ellie gazed at Zachary in fear and instinctively inched backward. Zachary was also gazing at the little girl, his heart softening. His stare was no longer as stony as it always was. "What a cute little girl. She looks like a pretty doll with her puffy cheeks. Look, her eyes are shining like stars. Strangely, she feels familiar to me. I can feel myself softening up at the sight of her." Fifi was circling in the car, shrieking, "Ellie, Ellie, come over here at once." A frowning Ellie stretched her hand out and demanded, "If you keep acting up, I'll get mad." Alas, Fifi didn't perch on her little hand. It landed on Zachary's shoulder instead. Zachary's brows snapped together as he reached out to grab Fifi. Fifi immediately struggled and pooped on Zachary's blazer in fright. A few feathers floated around, accompanied by shocked silence. Ben froze. Even the bodyguards paled instantly. They knew what a clean freak Zachary was. The bird's dead meat. Indeed. Zachary's expression darkened. His grip on little Fifi tightened. Fifi's body stiffened from the increasing force. Its eyes rolled upward as it lolled its tongue out. "Ah! Let go of Fifi." Ellie leapt on the man and tried to pry his hands off Fifi. "Let go! Let go! Kid!" Ben tried to pull her away, staring at Ellie's flushed face and doll-like eyes. The menace in Zachary's gaze faded away. He slowly released his grip on the bird. Fifi flapped its wings frantically and returned to Ellie's embrace. Ellie caught the bird and glared at Zachary angrily before escaping from his car. "Hey, kid!" Ben yelled after her, but she merely ignored him. Worried, he told the bodyguard, "Go after her and make sure she reunites with her family safely." "Yes." The vehicle then slowly drove away. Zachary took off his blazer and patted the feathers away before wiping his hands with a piece of wet wipes. Ben scanned his boss' expression. He still looks stern, but that murderous glint in his gaze is gone. He couldn't help but lament. "What an adorable little girl. She has an innocent gaze," Zachary commented, which was rare of him. "Yes. I wonder what kind of mother she has to give birth to such a lovely girl like her." Ellie was riding the escalator when she heard Charlotte calling her name. "Ellie, Ellie. Mommy, I am here." Ellie ran over with Fifi in her arms. She launched herself into Charlotte's embrace like a rocket, causing the latter to stumble from her weight. "You gave me a scare." Charlotte hugged Ellie tightly and caressed her head anxiously. "Are you hurt? Did you meet any bad guys?" "I am not hurt. But..." Ellie recalled that man in the car. "Is he a bad guy?" "He looks like one. But..." Fifi pooped on his shoulder. "He was angry. But he didn't kill Fifi. That means he is not a bad guy, right?" "But what?" Charlotte urged. "Fifi pooped on a man," explained Ellie, gesturing with her chubby hands. "But that man didn't hurt Fifi." "I am glad you're both fine. Don't wander around next time. Get it?" "Okay." Not far away, the bodyguard waited until the little girl left with her mother before he walked away. As he was too far away, he only saw her back and her faded denim shirt. Thanks for listening to the Bravonovel audiobook. Welcome to download the Bravonovel app. Read the novel Mistaking a Magnate for a Male Escort online and get the latest updates. Please see the video introduction for the novel details page and app download address.